Welcome to the WHHI News. I'm Allie McNair. Here's a look at your headlines. Well, you might call it progress. South Carolina has now officially gone from being the only state in the country with an all-male state Supreme Court to one of 19 that's just all white. Letitia Verdon was unanimously elected by the state legislature to fill the seat of retiring Chief Justice Don Beatty. Unlike the federal Supreme Court, the state has a mandatory retirement age of 72 for Supreme Court justices. John Kitteridge will now become Chief Justice, and Verdon will replace Kitteridge as an Associate Justice. She is the third woman ever elected to the state's highest court and could serve until 2043, when she'd have to retire at age 72. Well, we're waiting on the Beaufort County Coroner's Office to identify a shooting victim from a fight at the Oasis Inn on Boundary Street in Beaufort just before midnight on Tuesday. Beaufort police officers responded to the shooting call, but were unable to revive the victim. Officers at the scene report that multiple people were involved in a physical altercation in a room at the inn, and in a struggle over the gun, at least 2 shots were fired into that victim. Well, in the literal wake of the Key Bridge tragedy up in Maryland, the Coast Guard closed the Ravenel Bridge in Charleston for a time on Wednesday because a large container ship lost control of its engines while steaming out of Charleston Harbor headed for Savannah. The ship was reported out of control and traveling at up to 17 knots in the Cooper River early Wednesday afternoon, prompting the closing of the bridge. Luckily, the container ship got under the bridge without incident, but not before cars and pedestrians were evacuated off the bridge. The ship was eventually brought under control. It then was anchored for an investigation by Coast Guard officials. Well, there are cameras watching just about every move these days, including at places like the fairly remote Hilton Head Harbor RV Resort and Marina, where cameras caught the transfer of an injured person off the dock and into a private vehicle after an incident with a jet ski earlier this week. Now, companies that rent personal watercraft are required to report any injuries to the State Department of Natural Resources within 24 hours if there are any incidents that cause injuries. DNR officials are investigating that incident. Okay, do you know how to do the Stingray Shuffle? Well, learning how to do so might keep you from getting stung by one of our Lowcountry beaches' stingrays. Stingrays camouflage themselves in shallow sand, so if you shuffle or you drag your feet through shallow water, you'll likely scare away the stingrays. Even better, you can wear water shoes to protect yourself when you're in shallow waters. And if you want to learn more, you certainly can find an extensive article on our beaches stingrays at islandpacket.com. If you'd like more information on these stories and more, visit the news sources on your screen and be sure to check us out on Facebook, X, and Instagram. If you have a story idea, email us at news@WHHITV.com. And now with our weather, here's Maria Soden.
Thanks, Allie. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we're going to have some wonderful weather this weekend, but then we are going to see the return of thunderstorms starting next week. So taking a look at Friday, it's going to be sunny with Hilton having a high of 91, a low of 76, and then Bluffton and Beaufort are a high 93 and a low of 74. The sunrise for Friday is going to be at 6:16 and sunset's going to be at 8:28. Taking a look at the tides, high tides going to be at 10:31 a.m. and low tides going to be at 5:37 p.m. Taking a look into this weekend and a little bit into next week, Saturday it's going to be sunny with highs in the upper 80s, lows in the 70s. Then come Sunday, it's going to be sunny again with highs getting into the mid-90s, lows in the 70s. And then come Monday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy during the day. Then we are going to see a possible passing thunderstorm during the afternoon. Then it should be clear by the evening. Highs are going to be in the upper 80s, lows in the 70s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
Thanks, Maria. When we come back, we'll find out about work being done to make sure Hilton Head Island is resilient. Later, we'll talk to the Department of Consumer Affairs in South Carolina about protecting elders from scams, and we'll get our arts, events, and entertainment report. Don't go away.